buying a car in the military, it's a big deal, especially when you're a brand new Marine who's either never had a car before or you're spending this amount of money to begin with. Yeah, it's a big deal. Now I'm going to talk to you guys today about how to not get ripped off when you go to buy this car. Because the last thing you want to do is spend your hard-earned money on a car that a week or a day later it turns out to be a big piece of crap, and guess what? Now you're stuck with it. So, how do we avoid getting ripped off as a new Marine? Let's go. Buying a new car, it's a big deal, man. You got your money, you graduated boot camp, you either never had a car before or now you got a car and you want to go buy something cool. Here's my advice on what I would do and things I've seen throughout my career to help you avoid getting scammed. Number one, go to your bank and get pre-approved for a loan. That's right, auto loans. Credit unions are notorious for having better interest rates than actual banks. So like a Navy Federal Credit Union is going to most likely give you a better interest rate than Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or anything like that. So I'd go there and say, hey, I'm a new Marine, or hey, I'm trying to get approved for a line of credit for a car. What can you guys do for me? And they'll sit down with you, and they'll go over your income, show me your proof of income, how much money you make a month, etc., etc. Cool. Based off our calculations, this will vary by how much money you make. We deem that you qualify for a $10,000, $15,000 loan. Awesome. You get the check from the bank, you're pre-approved for this amount of money. $5, $10, $15, $20, $25,000, whatever the case is. Now you know how much you can spend. Pro tip. Just because the bank gives you $20,000 doesn't mean you have to spend all $20,000 of those dollars, because you have to also factor in tax, tag, title, DMV fees, etc. So if you buy a car and you max out that 20 grand, you're going to pay all those other fees out of pocket. And tax on a $20,000 vehicle could be about $1,000, $1,500, tag, title, etc. So you'll be paying a couple grand out of pocket with that. So just keep that in mind. And also, just because you have it doesn't mean you have to spend it too. Maybe if you're qualified for 20, only spend 10, because that's all you really need. At least that's all I think. Next, go online and look for a vehicle. Do your research. There are tens of thousands of millions of cars out there all over the country, all over the world that you can buy. Just because you find one close to home and you think it's the only one, it's not. There's 10,000 other ones out there just like it, and some of them are probably even better, so do your research. Find out what the value of this car is. Go on websites such as Kelley Blue Book, NADA, or just look online and find out how much this car is worth in 2022 or whenever you're watching this video. Then look online and find cars in that price range. Now, if you're looking for a specific rare type of car, you're already starting off on the rare foot because you're a new Marine. You don't make that much money to start off with, so why would you be spending all of your money on a car that you may or may not be able to afford? Now, once you do find a car, check Craigslist, check OfferUp, check the lemon lot or the used car lot on a base, because you'd find some good gems there. Ask your friends or anyone you work with, hey, is anyone selling a car? Selling a cheap car. You'd be surprised, especially when you're overseas in things like Japan or Hawaii. People are moving and selling cars all the time that they can't take with them, that they're probably going to drop off for you for a really good deal. So make sure you're utilizing all these resources at the same time. Now, once you do find this car, negotiate with the seller. Just because their price says $10,000 firm doesn't mean it's firm. Because if you show up with $9,000 cash and no one else has talked to that guy and you're like, I'll buy it right now, that's a good bargaining chip. I'm just saying. Also, when you go look at this car, make sure you take somebody with you that knows about cars. We all have that one friend that's been working on cars since they were in diapers, that knows the ins and outs of every car for whatever reason, and they're really good at it too. Yeah, that guy you're thinking about right now, take them with you when you go buy this car, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to inspect that car inside and out and make sure that you're not getting ripped off, that you're getting a great deal. When I bought my first car, I took a friend of mine, Adam Weaver. If you're watching this, man, hope you're doing well out there. He came with me all the way to Los Angeles when I bought a 2008 Mazda RX-8. I thought it was the coolest looking car ever. I went out there, man, the car looked great. Went to shift it into first gear, boom, it was a 6-speed. 5,000-6,000 RPMs with the shift in second gear. It was grinding like crazy. And I asked the guy, hey man, what's up with this car? Oh, you gotta, the synchros in the car is messed up. It's like $100 part, no worry. Well, guess what? He was right. It was only $100 part. To replace the synchros in a transmission, you got to drop the whole transmission to replace that one $100 part. Guess how much it costs to drop a transmission? About $1,500 that I didn't have. I ended up buying the car anyways. It was a good car. I just couldn't drive it in the manner I wanted to. So that was a lesson that I learned. My friend was great. He was helping me out there. He told me I probably shouldn't buy it. I didn't listen to him, and I learned a hard lesson. So that guy that's with you that says probably not a good deal, listen to them and don't buy it, because I was just stupid and naive and I could have found a better car elsewhere, but I was so stuck on that car that I kind of got stuck with it for a while. ultimately ended up fixing it over time, but the point is, listen to people who know what they're talking about because they know what they're talking about. Now, once you do find that car, negotiate with the seller again. If the brakes are worn, the tires are bad, check engine lights on, whatever the case is, that gives you more bargaining chips. And also, when you do find the car and you go see it in person and you want to buy it, before you give them any money, and even if a friend says it's good, do yourself a favor. Take it to a shop, either the dealership, independent shop, whatever, and do what's called a pre-purchase inspection. Now, this will cost you about $100 out of pocket that you're not going to get back, but if you take it to a dealership or a shop or whatever and you tell them that, they're going to do a thorough inspection, inside and out, hook it up to the computer, and they're going to say, hey, this car is good to go, or hey man, it's not, it has this, and this problem you should be made aware of. If the car is good and you like it and you can afford it, buy it. If they identify issues and the car is not good, bring it up to the seller, negotiate the price, or just walk away and go find another car. So that's what I would do. Get pre-approved, do your research thoroughly, take a person with you that you know is good with cars, do a pre-purchase inspection, and if all goes well, buy that car. Now, if you buy the car, take care of it, man. Seriously, that's like a no-brainer. Just take care of that car. Because if you go to any barracks parking lot around the Marine Corps, I can't speak for other branches, but I assume it's the same. You'll see all these cars out there, nice ones too, that are just beat to shit, that are rusted, unwashed, sitting there. They look like junk because people don't take care of them. And there's no garages if you're a single Marine living on base. Your car's going to sit outside, so take care of it because you spent your hard-earned money on it. And the last thing you want is that investment to go to waste or to get ruined because you were too lazy to take care of it. So at the end of the day, those are my pieces of advice of things that I've seen and things that I wouldn't do or I would do as a Marine. Oh, and lastly, if you don't take any of this advice and you want to do it on your own, that's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's what I'll say. First, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe so I can post more content like this in the future. All right, now let's get back to it. If you don't listen to what I have to say, that's completely fine. But here's a little quick story. It is 2011. I bought myself a 2004 Infiniti G35. White car, black wheels, beautiful car, 6-speed, great car, loved it, awesome. Someone I worked with wanted to buy the car off me. I wasn't selling because I love the car. Well, this young lady decided that she was going to go out and buy the same car that I had because it was great, and I actually copied a friend of mine's car because it was just a cool car. Anyways, I paid 10 grand for my car. Got a great deal, no issues, etc. It was an 04 with 60,000 miles, new tires, new brakes, the whole nine. Good condition. This girl went out to one of those little dealerships that I told you not to go to. Went there, they had a 2003 Infiniti G35. Cool. You're older, no big deal. This car had 198,000 miles on it. It was a manual. The clutch was bad. She didn't know that. The tires were worn. The brakes needed to be replaced. The car was a piece of shit. Excuse my language. I paid 10 grand for my car in good condition and it was newer. She paid $15,000 for that car. Not only did she overpay for a car that was worth probably about 5, if that, the interest rate that she got, no shit, 26%. 26, like 26% interest rate. 72 months. Now, if you do the math, I'm not good at math. I'm not going to do public math right now, but take a $15,000 car, 26% interest rate over 6 years. You do the math. Not worth it. She got screwed. Brought the car back. First week it was good. Brakes started squealing. Needed brake pads. Check engine light came on. Something goes wrong with the combustion of the engine. She couldn't drive stick, so she roasted the rest of the clutch that was there. And ultimately, that car ended up breaking down. Couldn't afford to fix it, so it sat in the barracks parking lot for, I don't know, a couple months, a year. And guess what she still had to do? She still had to pay on the car. So, with all that being said, listen to the advice of people who have gone before you and make smart decisions out there, people, because I want to make sure you guys aren't getting screwed, and I want to tell you the stories of people that I have seen that have gotten screwed so you can avoid them.